And welcome back to this week's Who Would Win. Now, before I begin this week's Who Would Win, I would just like to share a little bit of information with you folks. Me and Mark have been doing this channel for about, going on 3 years now. We've reached 128 subscribers. We continue to grow. We continue to get more of an audience. I appreciate every one of you who comes to watch our videos. That being said, the reason that we probably have as little subscribers as we do is because we are very low tech. We're very low quality. We don't have any graphics, no visual aids. We have, to basically segue, we have no copyrighted material in any of our videos. I am giving my opinions in every one of the videos I see. The closest I come to it is when I do the Pokemon videos. I use my phone, have the images up, but having images is not copyrighted material either, as far as I know. The only time I've ever had any sort of issues when I've used audio I'm not supposed to use, and I've retracted from doing that in the past, haven't had any issues. So I say that because yesterday I received our first copyright infringement notice on a video that had no reason to be copyright infringed. It was my Jason Bourne review. For any of those because there was like 18 views on it. I'm certain it probably would have maybe gone up a bit more. Yeah, it was 18 views. It was someone liked it, someone commented on it, and then I get a notification saying that the video has been taken down due to copyright infringement. And I check who did it. I don't recognize it. It's not an American name. That's all I'll say on it. I wondered the validity of the strike, but I'm not going to question it right now because, one, I don't make money off. If I made money off this channel, it'd be a much bigger concern for me. But I don't make money off the channel. To actually do something would take legal... Mark's looking into it, but to actually do something for myself would actually mean taking legal action. And at the moment, it's one strike. If I could do a second strike, different scenario entirely. Then I'm like, I don't want my channel shut down for stupid reasons because I'm not doing anything wrong. But all that being said, I find it interesting and stupid at the same time that I would suddenly get a copyright strike when I've been doing this now going on 3 years and I've not had really any issues at all. So if for future reference, if you want to see any videos I do, I said dude. Now if you do want to see any videos and that come out and you get a notification pops up and for some reason it's not there, you can go to our Facebook page, which is not labeled Clockwork Highlander. It should, but it's labeled DG McKay and the Fish, back from when me and Mark in our college days were doing our radio station. So I post all my reviews up on that Facebook page as well. So all videos go to that page as well as can be found on the channel. So if you want to, you can actually still watch the Jason Bourne review, by the way, on that channel. For some reason, you can't watch it on YouTube, but you can still click on the video and you can watch it on YouTube if you have any interest in still watching the Jason Bourne review. So, Clockwork Highlander, I'll put a tab or a link in the description below. But I just find it interesting and stupid at the same time that I have not been doing anything that would warrant it, and I suddenly get a strike against me. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. I just felt I needed to clarify that in case future shenanigans happen. But anyway, point being. So, segue. Who would win? So, who would win this week? Normally, I would have started the month with a Pokemon video, or Pokemon Versus, because Sun and Moon, I'm doing that every month leading up to the game. However, this week's a special week. It is the final chapter. The series is coming to a conclusion of Bleach this week, and I've been doing the Bleach Espada versus the Lantern Corps members fight. So, I figured I'd flip it around. I'll save the Pokemon one for next week. But, yeah, and I'll have an announcement at the end of this video about other future Who Would Wins that are going to be happening in place of this one. This is the last one, the final one I have down. And we have Saint Walker, our core Blue Lantern member, versus Coyote Staark, the first, technically strongest Espada. So, the reason I picked this is because what they represent. Blue Lanterns are representative of the emotional spectrum of hope, whereas Staark is representative of the human aspect of loneliness. And loneliness implies that you hope to not be lonely one day. So I figured they'd actually be a good contrast against each other. So we'll start off with Saint Walker. Now, Saint Walker is a Blue Lantern. I don't have any real physical requirements for him. He's not technically a physical combatant, but highly religious individual, can give hope to others, and their rings can be powered solely by hope. Now, sometimes hope isn't enough to do something, but still. He's mastered his Blue Lantern ring. He can purge the red light of rage from individuals. He can do blue energy blast, blue constructs, blue energy shield, flight, all the normal equivalents of Blue Lanterns. Can manifest constructs based on target psychosis, which is similar to a Yellow Lantern ring, but not exactly, I'm assuming. It's not going right off their fear, but something that's driving them, like insanity. Other contracts are just based on his, his physical or his mental imagination. Hope empowerment. The ring can charge with hope alone. More hope, the stronger they are. At one point, they actually reversed I think it was him and another lantern, because of the collective hope of the entire world, were able to reverse the age of a dying star by a couple billion years. That's hacks to some degree. Blue Lantern rings are one of the strongest weapons in the galaxy. However, limited regeneration, loss of hope can lose the ring. Green Lantern, Blue Lantern ring is only at its most powerful when the Green Lantern ring is nearby. A Green Lantern ring is the ring of will, whereas Hope is the Blue Lantern ring. Hope is only so effective unless you had the will to act on the hope and make the hope a reality. So, to be maximum efficient, a Blue Lantern, well, first off, either needs to be fully empowered by hope from other people, or have a Green Lantern nearby. Hal Jordan at one point had a Green and a Blue Lantern ring, and he was hacked. So now that being said, normally without a Green Lantern ring around them and no real extra hope nearby, a Blue Lantern can really only use shield energy, like a energy aura, flight, and I think they can also do protective constructs. They can't really do energy blasts. But Saint Walker has actually mastered his Lantern ring, so I tried to see if I could find anything that would warrant he could possibly go against that and actually, at least be somewhat offensive. I'm gonna say he could probably be at least mildly offensive. Nothing super powerful, but mildly offensive. Then we have Coyote Staark. Now, Coyote Staark is 6.5 feet tall. Not 6.5. 6.5 foot. Oh no, actually 6'1.5". 180 pounds. Lazy, unenthusiastic, non-violent, or arrogant, really. He's not interested in anything around him. He's observant, though, and very capable analyst. He's not opposed to killing, but will do it if he has to. He'll fight when he has to. He has a standard sword on him, a standard katana. Master swordsman, he was able to hold his own with Sunsui Kyoku, who's a master swordsman in his own right. Sonita, expert fast enough to create after images. Seru, who can fire it from any point in his body. He doesn't need to make any form, which makes him very dangerous. And then we got onto his Resurrection, which is, his release, go to his true form. Now, for most of Spada, in fact, the majority, it takes the form of their Zanpakuto, their sword, or in some other cases, some weapon they use. In his case, his is actually a separate individual. To go into a little Bleach lore, he was born what's known as a Vasto Lotus, the strongest of hollows, so strong that everyone was dying around him in his spiritual energy. It's just killing everyone. So he split his soul into two, created a separate being to lower his power, and more or less be able to have people around him. So he created Lilieta Gingerback, who is this little annoying brat. He puts his hand on his head. He takes his true form, which is more or less which is Los Lobos, is the name of the Resurrection. He takes the form more or less of a gunslinger. He has two pistols, one for powerful blasts and one for weaker but faster blasts. He can do quick shots, all that. Lilieta actually takes the form of one of his guns that can take and possess one of his abilities later on, his wolves. He claims to be able to fire 1,000 seers at once. For once left for his left gun is for multi-shot, right gun is for long-range power shots, and he can claim to fire 100 seers at once, which is basically super spray effect. He can do spirit swords, enhanced Haru, which is armor skin, more or less. His spirit wolves are one of his most unique techniques. They are wolves formed of his own souls, basically. Can form in the hundreds. Basically, they explode when they bite, more or less, or can explode on their own. They chase with the intent to bite. Can summon without limit, more or less, like flames. They regenerate. You can't physically damage them. Their part of his soul can only explode when they make contact, and can explode when non-physical damage. Is that like Kiraku did a attack that was basically a wind blast, more or less, that basically dismantled them or dispersed them. So, but he's not invincible. He got defeated too by Kiraku, and his attitude is very interesting. That he's so lazy, doesn't care about fighting, but he's arguably the strongest of them, not including Yami's Zero Form Resurrection. And even then, I'd argue that Staark could probably beat him. Because he really was kind of incompetent for being the supposed strongest Espada. Sorry, I've got to cut, just getting something out there. So, he's a unique character, same with Saint Walker. Now, the way this fight breaks down, as always, is that they're going through Hueco Mundo. They're, trying to find individuals. Now, and Saint Walker just happens to run into Coyote Staark, and Gingerback is there as well. Now, there's two scenarios how this fight breaks down. One where Hal happens to be nearby, so he gets his full power, and one where he doesn't. We'll start with the low-powered St. Walker verse. Now, it's going to be interesting, actually, because St. Walker being Hope is probably going to be like, now, I would prefer we don't fight. I'd hope we don't fight. It's like, yeah, I don't want to fight either, but I can't really let you pass. I mean, could you just maybe go around? This is the quickest way. I need to get there. Yeah, that's annoying. But I guess when you have to, sorry, Bug. I guess we have no choice in this. And then he just, soon he does it and just clashes his sword down, and St. Walker didn't prepare for that, so he's like, crap! But luckily his shield's strong enough to probably, counteract at least a non-release sword strike. So he's like, shing! But that's still, the force is still great enough to just, what the, it's like, ching, ching. It's like, ching, ching. You're pretty fast for a little guy. Ching, ching, ching. But Sunito probably can keep up with Saint, so Saint's like, crap, crap, crap. So Saint can probably, and again, I'm going with the idea that because he's mastered the Blue Lantern, he can probably, and because Staark probably has a little bit of hope going off him as well. He's hoping he doesn't have to fight. He's hoping, not to be alone. So with loneliness comes a little bit of hope that you don't have to be lonely anymore. So Saint can probably feed off that to a degree, but there's not anywhere near enough to give him full power or anything like that. But enough that he could probably mount at least a mild offensive blast. So he probably just blast him back maybe with a mild construct. Just boom. But again, it's on the weak side because, not enough hope and the Great Tal's not around. So it's like, that tickled. So you can do energy things, huh? I can do an energy thing too. And then I can do an energy thing too. And then all of a sudden, just Sarah just comes out and says, or however they say, and then that blast probably knocks him back a bit. But he's still relatively okay. But he fires a blast. Blast collide. I think if they'd probably, because Staark's probably not putting a lot of effort into it, they'd probably just explode. Walker comes in, has him all like a blade construct. Staark blocks it. Ching, 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 ching. And then, right at the moment, at this time, Saint probably doesn't have enough power to, they're probably roughly on equal terms. But Saint doesn't have anywhere overall power, enough power to, really counteract Staark. And then Stark's just going to get annoyed. It's like, I can't release here. So, look, why don't we take this somewhere else? There's a bit of crowd. So they go above the dome of Hueco Mundo because they can't release their resurrections because they could destroy the whole Lost Nosage area. So now they're above Hueco Mundo. And now it's like, no, look, I'm going to give you a chance because I'd prefer we don't do this. So you hope we don't do this? Yeah, I hope we don't do this. It's like, yeah, I would hope we don't do this here. His rings gave you a little stronger. He can feel any amounts of the hope that's going on in Lost Noches. And there's probably, all of them are hoping they can win their fights and stuff like that. So there's mild hope. So he's probably got enough empowerment to at least be somewhat more offensive than he was at this point. So now he can probably mount at least a decent attack at this point. So he's like, well, I'm hoping we wouldn't have to do this either. But if you insist, it only makes a construct based off psychosis for Staark, which is interesting. I don't know how that would play out because it's kind of like with Sinestro manifesting Barragan's fear. Barragan's fear, I'm pretty sure, was like losing his power and dying. So maybe he sees an image of himself dying in that regard. But for Staark, you just see maybe it suddenly just paints a landscape of him just alone and loneliness and just. Maybe Stark's eyes kind of go widen and then Nero's like, yeah, that's not going to work. He's like, yeah, I didn't think so. And so I guess we'll have to go with plan B. We're going to fight. Yeah. So all of a sudden it's like, what was it, run? I think it was run is the release command. So he just run, and then it glows, and he becomes, Coyote Staark, and, Los Lobos and his guns. It's like, okay, that's different, but I can still. So he just comes in. Maybe he's got some fists going in, goes in for a physical assault. Just, whoa! All of a sudden, and then now it's just now he's just dodging gunfire. This way, just It's like, yeah, is that all you? It's like, I'm not done yet. You can't. I will not back down, or something like that. I can't back down. Everyone is counting on me, or something like that. And it's like, besides, this isn't so bad. I can dodge this. Oh, you can dodge 10 blasts. Can you dodge 1,000? And then all of a sudden his eyes widen. It's just that giant freaking cascade of that wall of Cerebless he did against Kirikou, and just like, oh, and then Saint's definitely getting hit by that, but his lantern energy is enough to maybe shield him from a lot of the damage, but not all of the damage. So just do. It's like, do you give up yet? Never. And all of a sudden he gets a blast of like an energy fist or claw or something like that. And then just gets blasted through like a Siller's like, I'll never give up. Never give up, never surrender. That's the Starfleet way. So he just gets blasted and just, okay, it's like, alright, that hurt. He's like, come on, stop fooling around, Stark, and let's get this over with. And just Stark just goes, sorry, I'm smelling damp wood. Anyway, yeah, Stark just goes, I'm smelling damp wood. I was like, fine. I hate exerting so much effort. All of a sudden, the wolves appear. Just, it's like, well, this I didn't expect. Yeah, I don't like using this that much, but I say it for the people I actually have to try against. And the wolves just suddenly charges, and just he gets his energy shield, not an actual dome, but and just, oh no, I can see him putting the dome up, and the wolves disperse, but then they reform against the shield. So he eventually gets the shield and is just starting to try to slice through him. If you remember Emerald Knights, when some of the lanterns were fighting the antimatter creatures, it's kind of like that. They kind of just disperse and then reform, and then one of them bites him and then explodes, and it's just explosions all around. Yeah, and then you see Saint, who's beaten, burnt, bloodied, but he's still there. I will not give in. He keeps his hope alive. He's gonna. I'd say Saint, because Saint is like the titular Blue Lantern. He would keep hope alive till the very end. With that said, though, he's pretty much a non-Green Lantern empowered with limited amount of hope we got going on here. I mean, there are enough people giving him enough power to probably raise an offensive and stuff. He maybe does even his own version of the whole, mass blast attack, but it's much weaker on a weaker scale. The Blue Lanterns are not an offensive group; they're a peacekeeping group. Technically the Green Lanterns are too, but theirs is not an offensive way. They can be offensive when they need to be, but they're not an offensive way. So it's a very hard scenario. Do I see any scenario, honestly, where a non-Green Lantern ring powered Saint Walker wins this fight? Not really. I don't think he has the overall power to take on Stark without a Green Lantern near him. But he can put up a decent fight. I think he can at least drive Stark to use his Resurrection. But overall, I think Stark will eventually end up winning this. Probably just, Sunito there and just blast him point blank in the head. Either take his head off or just knock him out. Now, in a scenario where Hal is nearby, close enough to actually empower his ring, and I'd say he'd have to probably be like, I don't know, 100 yards away, let's say. Space is very hard to determine what the actual distance between two objects is at the time. But let's say that he is nearby. Now, his ring's at full power, Stark's dead. Stark has no chance, because the way that then works is that Stark will go to Stark releasing his Zanbakuto, his Resurrection, Lilionette, and he's going to try to overpower him, but unfortunately, he's got a lantern who can actually turn back time and reverse the age of a star, can pretty much do anything, within reason. He does have limits, but still, his limitations are not defined very well. So he more or less can overpower any of Stark's heroes, probably form duplicates, just erase any of the blast. The wolves can suddenly just be contained in one giant, prison sphere. And he can just dump all of them on Stark, maybe just squeeze them all into one giant ball of exploding spirit energy and just explode Stark in the face. Then just come in and just maybe punch him through the hole and just blast them apart. I don't know. So he can pretty much do anything. The point of the matter is, I think... is there any form of... The question is not if he can beat how often he beats Stark in with the Green Lantern nearby. It's how often Stark can win with the Green Lantern nearby. And I still believe that he could probably, sneak up on him and just, sear his head off or something like that, or at least knock him the fuck out. And maybe have some wolves on him at the same time. So I don't think it's impossible for him to beat him, but at the same time, I think it's not likely. I think it's like 100% of the time Stark wins when Saint doesn't have a Green Lantern nearby. In this scenario, mind you, the most realistic one. But it's about a 90% of the time that Saint Walker can beat Stark, because I think Stark can outmaneuver Walker, just because of it being a better tactician. He's more a combat, despite his attitude and personality. He's definitely more combat oriented character than Saint is. So it's a very interesting scenario we find ourselves in with that. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm giving this Saint Walker wins 90% of the time when he's got a Green Lantern ring nearby. Loses 100% of the time when there's no Green Lantern nearby. But he can put up a decent fight. I'm not saying he can't put up a decent fight. But he's arguably the strongest and the weakest of the Lanterns at the same time. That's why it's very up in the air there. So that's my thoughts on that fight. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to see any of our videos here, or you can see our videos here. I'm going to have to start doing the videos. You can watch our videos both here on our channel and on our Facebook page, DJ McKay and the Fish. So, as I said, because of Bleach ending, and because I actually had a lot of fun doing these fights, I'm going to now be doing a Bleach fight every month. And I figured, why not? Well, at least I'm going to be in celebration of the end of Bleach, more or less. I'm going to be doing the original 13 Court Guard squad. I'm going to be doing the captains of the Sarate, the Soul Society. Squad 1 captain, Yamamoto, Soifone, all of them. The only ones I'm not going to be doing are Aizen, because Aizen deserves his own freaking list entirely, because he's completely on a different scenario than the rest of them. Unohana, because there's just not enough to go off of with Unohana. And Shinji, just because I couldn't think of anyone good for him. Now, that being said, I haven't figured out all the fights yet for I've got Yamamoto down. I'll take requests. If you request a fight, I haven't figured out anyone. I have an idea for Shunsui, but if you could make me a suggestion for Shunsui versus someone fight, and I think it's better, I'll just do that one instead. So I'll take requests if I feel it's going to be more entertaining than the fight I already have planned. But, for instance, next month's Bleach one will be Yamamoto, Genro Yusai Yamamoto, versus Whitebeard from One Piece, which is one I found actually is one people wonder about. So that will be the first fight. After that, I'll just go down this squad list after that, squad 2, 3, so forth and so on. But if you have an idea of a fight you want to see between a Bleach captain and a character, then please put that in the comments below. I will consider it greatly, and I will get to it at some point. So, that being said, next week will be the Pokemon Battle Royale between the 3 Sinnoh gods, Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia. I will have a Magic video, Suicide Squad review up tomorrow, and box office report on Sunday. Other than that, though, I have no real other plans unless movie news comes out that's interesting to talk about, or a trailer. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.